Yeah, that wasn't a pretty win at all, but who cares? The Brewers get back on the winning track. They're now 15-8 on the season. Chance to get out of Pittsburgh with a split. And then you got two teams from the American League East coming to Milwaukee here over the next 6 days. We'll tell you all about that coming up next here on this edition of Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yeah, it wasn't a real fun game to watch. Kept us on our edge of the seat for most of the afternoon, or most of the night. Well, late afternoon. Game started at 5:40 Milwaukee time. But the Brewers do win 3-2. Find another way to pull out a victory. Again, the offense, very limited in this game. We're going to get to that coming up here in a little bit. Some guys not pulling their weight. The pitching, again, doing its job once again on the staff. Okay, I think I'm going to stop complaining about going out and getting themselves starters and all that until I'm proven otherwise, because they go out and just keep getting the job done. We'll tell you about a few other things as well, including a big matchup. Both teams throwing out their aces coming up on Thursday morning. Quick turnaround, 11:35 with that first pitch Milwaukee time. My name is Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers host, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin. Always great talking to you, great fans. Follow me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. And of course, Google, Spotify, Apple, run all the major downloads where you download your podcast. And of course, our growing YouTube page. Please go to YouTube, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. All right, well, like I said, 3-2. Brewers win the game. 3 runs on 1 hit early in this game in 1 inning. Contreras had the RBI single, but, walking guys hit by pitches. Ortiz, the pitcher for Pittsburgh, man, he gifted the Brewers 3 runs in that inning. He really did. So the Brewers didn't have a lot going for them offensively once again. They had a couple of threats. They had guys on base, couldn't score with runners in scoring position again. Had a double steal that didn't work out. All that bad going offensively, and they still find a way to pull out a win, 3-2. I thought we'd be talking, if you were to tell me 2 weeks ago, what are we going to be talking about is going to be the detriment of this team, I would have been saying, we'd be talking about the pitching staff every night. We've been talking a lot about that, trying to be preventative on it, thinking these guys aren't going to go out there and find a way. But Pat Murphy has been able to patch things together with that pitching, and the offense is going back to being brutal like it was last year. Thought we got rid of that. I thought that kind of left us. I thought when Craig went to Chicago and the way the offense was performing earlier in the season, 8-9 runs a game, I thought, wow, okay. I didn't expect 8-9 runs a game, but I thought, okay, we're going to be a little bit better offensively. But still, the denominator between last year and this year is that they've been able to still find a way to get wins, still find a way to throw a pitcher out there, not a preferred starter, not the guy you thought you were going to start when the season started, but get the most out of it. Bryce Wilson this time. Bryce Wilson. It's 2 terrific starts in a row. 4 1/3, 3 hits on 75 pitches. I think the guy, there was a reason why they stretched him out in the offseason, in spring training, I should say. But I don't think they quite thought he was going to be a starter. They never told him he was going to be a starter. They didn't plan for this, but here they are. I think they probably stretched him out. I don't know, maybe longer relief in the middle innings. Who knows? Maybe. But Bryce has been terrific so far in both of his spot starts. He's going out there, three Ks, 4 1/3, again, 75 pitches. Bryce Wilson. Now, the problem here is you wonder how many innings he can go, because, every time Bryce Wilson pitches, if he's going 3 or 4, you're going to use the rest of your bullpen. And I don't have to tell you, that bullpen is getting taxed right now. They're doing great. Bullpen doing great. Bullpen fantastic. I just don't want to be talking here in July about a bullpen running down. And we do got to look to July because it's a long 162 games schedule. You have to win the games today. I love the fact that, win today, think about tomorrow. And they've been doing a lot of that this year. The problem is they're doing a little bit too much of it, and I hope it doesn't catch up with them eventually. I think there's a lot of people who look at this and they say 15-8. Boy, the Brewers are doing well, but man, there's some nervous nights, and they're stretching people awfully thin this early in the season. But we'll see. You had no choice. Bryce Wilson came in and did great. Where would you be without him? Where would you be without a lot of those guys? Where would you be without Bryan Hudson? Getting the win. Solid in middle relief again. Gave his first hit in a long time tonight. Bryan Hudson, a guy we never even talked about much in spring training, if any. A guy who's coming in here, a pickup off the Dodgers, and has been just fantastic. Just fantastic in middle relief. Again, never talked about him, but here he is again, getting his second major league career win. So where would they be without a guy like Wilson and Hudson and so many other guys on this team stepping up? But that's what team baseball is. Guys stepping up and helping out. And, you just hopefully during the marathon run of 162 games, they can keep this thing going. But ninth inning, Piamps, again, a couple of errors in the inning, including one by Weimer out in left field. Weimer's charging in. Adames is moving out on that play. That's the left fielder's ball. On that play, that's the left fielder's ball. So I don't know if he heard the footsteps of Adames approaching him or what, and I could totally see how that happened, but these guys are major leaguers. They got to make the play. I'm not making an excuse for Weimer, but, man, that could have been costly. So 2 errors in the inning. Piamps got 5 outs, recorded the win. They hold on for a 3-2 victory, striking out McCutchen to finish off the game, a guy who's tormented them the first 2 games of the series in the limited offense that the Pirates have had. Piamps was able to strike him out to finish off the game. But, that Weimer ball, Adames was racing back, and I get it. We see this happen a lot, but that's clearly Weimer's ball, the left fielder. And, again, I don't know if he thought Adames was closer to him, was worrying about a collision or what. I could see where that happens, but Weimer still should have made the play. So, coming up next, we're going to talk about Christian Yelich. That's running on the field. Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. Wade Miley, Gasser looked great. Also, down the road of this podcast tonight, we'll talk about the upcoming Pirates Brewers Game 4 on Thursday afternoon, and also the Yankees series coming up this weekend. Can't wait. Can't wait to be out there for this series. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. This show, by the way, is brought to you by Monopoly Go. You all have a competitive side just like me, and a big fan of Monopoly Go, the mobile hit twist on the classic game of Monopoly. Join your friends. Download Monopoly Go now on the App Store or on Google Play. All right, Policygenius. Policygenius. Where, again, insurance, life insurance is so huge. Life insurance is big to have because if you don't have life insurance, I mean, you can do detriment to a lot of people in your life if you do not have life insurance. And Policygenius helps you compare your options from top companies and their team of licensed experts on hand to help you talk it through it. Policygenius, talk to a team of award-winning agents. They'll walk you through the process step by step. Compare quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. Find your lowest price for life insurance. Check life insurance off your to-do list with Policygenius. Policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. Click on the description as you see right there if you're watching us on YouTube. Get your free insurance quotes and see how you can save with Policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. You can get really good rates. They'll walk you through it and help you get some great rates. But first, you got to go punch in the website, Policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. We're coming right back after this brief timeout. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Chuck Freeman, your host here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Christian Yelich did some running on the field, didn't take any batting practice, didn't do any fielding practice, just was on the field running a little bit. You almost forget that Yelich is on this team now. Until I heard the news today, saw the news about Yelich, I was like, oh, that's right. Yelich is on this team. I mean, yeah, it's been a while. Seems like it's been a long time since we've seen Christian Yelich. But the team is still making do without him. Did some running on the field. I don't know. Seems like he might be a ways away. We'll see. With the back, you never know. We'll see if he's going to take some time and rehab, either in Appleton or AAA or whatever. But he's doing some running, and we don't really know when he's going to come back. Soon we hope, but they could use his bat in the offense because the offense, as we were talking about, just been bad. And Yelich, when he last left us, was batting .333 at 5 home runs. Wade Miley, MRI, was inconclusive. We'll see with Wade Miley what the next steps are as to when he's going to pitch again with the Brewers and what they're going to do to get him feeling a little better. But Wade Miley, inconclusive on the MRI today. Robert Gasser did pitch this morning down at Nashville. Morning game, 4+ innings, 4 hits, had a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Robert Gasser could find his way up here very soon. Robert Gasser continuing to rehab that elbow. So that's some good news as well. Rowdy Tellez thought he got that one in the 8th inning. He's dying to come back and lay one on the Brewers. He kind of made mention of it in an interview somewhere in the offseason, haunting his former team. He said, team didn't want me, but I thought he got it in the 8th inning. Warning track fly ball. We've seen that before, Rowdy. He was pinch hit for on Tuesday night, I want to say. Was he pinch hit Tuesday night? I think he was pinch hit for. Ducks on the pond. I don't think the big fella liked that at all, that he was pinch hit for. But other than that, Brewers 15-8, going to this final game in Pittsburgh, what is going to end, I feel, just like a lengthy, long stretch of road games. They were, 10-2 going into Pittsburgh, so they've played 16 games on the road so far this year. 16 of their 81 road games already here from late March to, we're not even done with April, but the home ballpark owes them some home games. And they got the Yankees coming in Friday night. Gonna love it. Hopefully there's a big crowd on there. I know the Bucks play a little early with their playoff game. They play at 4:30 Milwaukee time. So hope to see a lot of fans out there. I'll be out there all 3 games this weekend at AmFam Field. I'll be covering the games. I'll be sitting in some seats as well. So you see me walking around. Love to talk to you. Love to talk to you, Brewer baseball with you. Get reaction on the podcast from you and a lot of things. So you see me walking around AmFam, certainly please say hello this weekend. We come back, we'll talk about this final game between the Brewers and Pirates. That's coming up next. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Monopoly Go. I was telling you about Monopoly Go and the great spinoff it is on the great board game Monopoly, which we've all played. Great family game, but great game to have with friends. But now they've converted it into Monopoly Go, where you can play on not just one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations. You build up these amazing cities and win some big time money. Not just the play money that you got when you're playing Monopoly, but you're going to get some real big time cash by playing Monopoly Go. It's just not the board game anymore. They've converted to Monopoly Go. You put it on your phone, download it today. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. Get in the game, join your friends. You play against people from around the world, team up with friends. There's time tournaments, and you could win big rewards. Get in the game, join your friends, download Monopoly Go, now free. the App Store and on Google Play. Also, PrizePicks, another great sponsor. PrizePicks. Maybe you have Rowdy Tellez going under on hits. Maybe you have McCutchen going over on hits tomorrow. Maybe you have Freddie under on how many strikeouts or over on how many strikeouts. Team them all together. NBA, get in on a playoff action. Postseason is here. PrizePicks has something for every sports fan, from baseball to basketball to League of Legends, everything in between. PrizePicks, the best way to get in all the sports action. 30 states across the country: California, Texas, Georgia, and you can play along with some of the greats out there. You can find community plays as well. They offer weekly promotions, special offers for the biggest moments in sports. PrizePicks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this season. Download the app. Use the promo code on PrizePicks. Go to Locked On MLB with your promo code, and that first match will be up to $100. $100. Again, download the app, PrizePicks. Use the promo code Locked On MLB, and your first deposit will be up to $100. But hey, you could win 100 times your money. Match a couple of together, 2, 3, 4 players. The more you match, the more you win. With PrizePicks, download that app and play today, and use that promo code Locked On MLB for that first deposit match up to $100. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Down the stretch we come after this timeout. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Quick turnaround for the Brewers and Pirates. They have, and this is Chuck Freeman, they have the final game of the series, 11:35 with that first pitch, and it's going to be the two aces, Mitch Keller, whose longest start is in the 7 innings so far. He's 2-2. He's got an ERA near 5. He's given up 3 home runs this year. Freddie has been fantastic. Freddie, we should say, for the Brewers. Would love to get this game and split this series with the Pirates, heading into the Yankees and Tampa Bay coming into AmFam. 2 really good offensive teams coming into AmFam, 2 from the American League East. I'm glad with the expanded schedule that they've been doing here, that we're going to have a chance to see the Yankees at AmFam Field. It's really cool. They should have did this 40 years ago when I was a kid, but glad they have it now where you could see teams from both teams. And it used to be called interleague play. I don't even think I think they do call it interleague play, but it used to be something special. When the Brewers were in the American League for a while, they started this interleague play, and the Cardinals came to town, or the Cubs would come to town. It'd be something, the Brewers playing the Cubs, interleague play. Now it's just, you don't even give a second thought to it right now. But the Yankees are going to be here for a first of 3. Again, Freddie Peralta against the Pirates tomorrow against Mitch Keller. But big victory they need coming up, and got to get the offense going. Got to get that offense going. And I still think it's there. I don't think, my gut feeling right now is what we've seen earlier this year with the 6, 7, 8 runs a game. Well, it's not going to be quite as bad as that, or good as that, but it's not going to be as bad as what we're seeing right now. The Brewers having to win games 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, which we've been seeing. Fortunately, they've been coming out on top on some of these games. Well, they lost, 2-1 the other night, 4-2. But 3-2 victors tonight, a lot of low-scoring games. I think the offense is eventually going to get heat up. They need Yelich back on this team in the worst way. They do, because they need that bat. I was saying earlier, you almost forget that Yelich is on this team, but they need him alongside Contreras and a few other guys. There's some guys who just got to get going on this team. There are some guys who, like Ortiz. Should he be on the Major League roster right now? Should he even be on a Major League roster right now? Should he be getting his work done at Nashville? They're going to be counted on. They count on a lot of guys on this 40-man roster like they did in 2018. You saw 2018, all the players they brought in and up and throughout the season to contribute to this team. And maybe it's time to give Monasterio a shot. Maybe they need to give him bring him up. I know he's been sent down and up a few times, but man, offensively, Tyler Black might be an answer. I would be good finding a way to get his bat in the order, but something's got to jumpstart this team. something's got a 3-run home run, get some things going, get some guys moving on the base paths, get some base hits with runners in scoring position. Haven't seen that in a while. Well, they saw it Saturday in St. Louis for a couple of innings there, but not enough consistency with that. Got to get back on the track, and maybe that'll happen when the big bats of the Yankees and Rays come to town. That's going to do it. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads. Wherever you download your podcast, that's where you want to get Locked On Brewers. Also, go to YouTube, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell that alerts you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. We'll be back with you a little bit later on Thursday night to talk about Thursday afternoon's game, get you ready for the Yankees series as well. This is Chuck Freeman. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day.